Good morning, my dear host, cried D'Artagnan. Good day to you. Have you slept well? Excellently, Athos. But what are you looking for? You are perhaps a tulip fancier. My dear friend, if I am, you must not laugh at me for being so. In the country people alter, without knowing it, all those beautiful objects that God causes to spring from the earth, which are despised in cities. I was looking anxiously for some iris roots I planted here, close to this reservoir, and which some one has trampled upon this morning. These gardeners are the most careless people in the world in bringing the horse out to the water. I've allowed him to walk over the border. D'Artagnan began to smile. Ah, you think so, do you? And he took his friend along the alley, where a number of tracks like those which had trampled down the flower beds were visible. Here are the horse's hoofs again. It seems, Athos, he said carelessly. Yes, indeed, the marks are recent. Quite so, replied the lieutenant. Who went out this morning? Athos asked, uneasily. Has any horse got loose? Not likely, answered the Gascon. These marks are regular. Where is Raoul? Asked Athos. How is it that I have not seen him? Hush! Exclaimed D'Artagnan, putting his finger on his lips, and he related what he had seen, watching Athos all the while. Ah, he's gone to Blois, the poor boy. Wherefore? Ah, to inquire after the little La Valliere. She has sprained her foot. You know, you think he has. I am sure of it, said Athos. Don't you see that Raoul is in love? Indeed, with whom? With a child 7 years old. Dear friend, at Raoul's age the heart is so expansive that it must encircle one object or another, fancied or real. Well, his love is half real, half fanciful. She is the prettiest little creature in the world, with flaxen hair, blue eyes, at once saucy and languishing. But what say you to Raoul's fancy? Nothing. I laugh at Raoul, but this first desire of the heart is imperious. I remember, just at his age, how deep in love I was with a Grecian statue which our good king, then Henry IV, gave my father, insomuch that I was mad with grief when they told me that the story of Pygmalion was nothing but a fable. It is mere want of occupation. You do not make Roll work, so he takes his own way of employing himself. Exactly, therefore, I think of sending him away from here. You will be wise to do so. No doubt of it, but it will break his heart. So long as 3 or 4 years ago he used to adorn and adore his little idol, whom he will some day fall in love with in right earnest if he remains here. The parents of little La Valliere have for a long time perceived and been amused at it. Now they begin to look concerned. Nonsense. However, Raoul must be diverted from this fancy. Send him away, or you will never make a man of him. I think I shall send him to Paris. So thought D'Artagnan, and it seemed to him that the moment for attack had arrived. Suppose, he said, we roughly chalk out a career for this young man. I wish to consult you about something. Do so. Do you think it is time for us to enter the service? Are you not still in the service, you? D'Artagnan, I mean active service. Our former life, has it still no attractions for you? Would you not be happy to begin anew in my society and in that of Porthos? The exploits of our youth, do you propose to me to do so? D'Artagnan, decidedly and honestly. On whose side? Asked Athos, fixing his clear, benevolent glance on the countenance of the Gascon. Ah, devil take it, you speak in earnest, and must have a definite answer. Listen, D'Artagnan, there is but one person, or rather, one cause, to whom a man like me can be useful. That of the king. Exactly, answered the musketeer. Yes, but let us understand each other, returned Athos, seriously. If by the cause of the king you mean that of Monsieur de Mazarin. We do not understand each other." "I don't say exactly," answered the Gascon, confused. "Come, D'Artagnan, don't let us play a sidelong game. Your hesitation, your evasion, tells me at once on whose side you are. For that party no one dares openly to recruit, and when people recruit for it, it is with averted eyes and humble voice. Ah, my dear Athos, you know that I am not alluding to you. You are the pearl of brave, bold men. I speak of that spiteful and intriguing Italian of the pedant who has tried to put on his own head a crown which he stole from under a pillow of the scoundrel who calls his party the party of the king, who wants to send the princes of the blood to prison, not daring to kill them, as our cardinal did of the miser, who weighs his gold pieces and keeps the clipped ones for fear, though he is rich, of losing them at play next morning, of the impudent fellow who insults the queen, as they say, so much the worse for her, and who is going in 3 months to make war upon us, in order that he may retain his pensions. Is that the master whom you propose to me? I thank you, D'Artagnan,